What you want, yeah. We just chillin' by the Wawas, lemonade with the large fries. Puff twice for the calm high, ayy, what you want, yeah. Big checks make the bank bounce. Old school candy paint down. Bad chicks, they from down south, ayy, what you want, yeah.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, BQ Quick Review. I'm your host, BQ, and today we're going to be doing a talk video about Brittney Griner and the Viktor Bout trade. Now, also before we get into this, make sure you guys like and comment, and if there's any topics or video you want me to react to, go to my Instagram at biquon, and I'll get right to it, or put it down in the comments. Yeah, I'll see it, don't worry. But yes, we're covering Brittney Griner. So a lot of people are upset about the whole swap for Brittney Griner and the Merchant of Death. Now, first thing I want to start is saying, like, this isn't an attack on Brittney Griner or anything, whatever. I'm glad that she's home and that she got out of Russia. I think that's a good thing in itself, but two things can be right at the same time. I think it's a good thing that she get out, but do I think the swap for her getting out, was it fair? Me, honestly, I don't think so. I wanted to do a bit more research before I got into this topic, so I don't think it's like as clean slated as they're making it to be in the media, where it's just like a basketball player for the Merchant of Death, you know? But I do think either way that the deal wasn't a fair deal. I don't think so. So I just want to give my thoughts and give some facts and stuff that I found out about this whole everything that was going down. One thing that I want to start off with too is that a lot of people getting a misconception talking about Paul Whelan. Now, a lot of people are upset that we left a U.S. Marine over there who fought for our country, and and let him stay there while Brittney Griner got out after just being there for a couple months, which I was very upset about once I didn't, start doing any digging and stuff. Because if you really think about it, that just sounds ridiculous. You left the whole U.S. Marine there for a basketball player who knowingly did something she wasn't supposed to, and also she was told not to go to Russia. And it just doesn't make any sense. Paul Whelan's in there for something he didn't do. He's accused of spying. Well, you never know. He might be a spy, but they say he's in there for being a spy. The one misconception that people might have about this situation, though, is that for the deal that the U.S. was trying to do was to get Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan out at the same time. But Russia's offer was Paul Whelan, Brittney Griner, or nobody's coming out. So the fact of the matter is, Paul Whelan's situation is a bit different. He wasn't getting out either way, unfortunately. So I think that's one misconception that a lot of people have, that it was a trade. It was a choice between Brittney Griner or Paul Whelan, when that's not the case. Paul Whelan was not getting out at all. So that's one thing that kind of made me a bit more easy about the situation, and also some facts is that, Viktor Bout, was sentenced to, I believe, 20 years and had about 9 or 10 more years to serve. So Brittney Griner and Viktor Bout would have been getting out of prison at the same time. So I think that would have that may have altered their decision on getting Brittney Griner out anyway. But yeah, a lot of people ask, from the left side, well, if this guy's so dangerous, why was he only in prison for 20 years? Well, the thing is that he was only caught for gun smuggling charges. everything else that he was suspected for, they had no evidence against him, and there was nothing they could charge him for on those crimes, or he would for sure be in jail for life. I can assure you that. Now, yeah, after seeing all these facts and reading more about who Viktor Bout was, this guy is definitely not a good guy. You see, they made an entire movie about this guy, just off of like his fame and stuff, but this guy has instigated wars, that and down in the Congo, sold weapons to different countries, even in Iraq, towards giving weapons to people who putting U.S. soldiers' lives in danger. So, with all of these facts about who this guy is, you can see why people are very pissed off on why they would make the trade for Brittney Griner for this guy. It doesn't logically make any sense, and I could kind of guess, like, with all the facts of, let's just get somebody out. I guess that was their thought. Let's just get somebody out. But in my opinion, I think if they weren't going to get them both out, whatever, get a 2-for-1 deal for this guy who is called the Merchant of Death, who was indirectly killed U.S. soldiers and started wars, more instigated wars. I think that they should have gotten 2 people out instead of just one basketball player who knowingly did something that she wasn't supposed to. I think they should have just not made a deal at all and kept Brittney Griner there, as fucked up as that sounds, and they shouldn't have given this guy up at all. So I think this was a terrible trade. I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was at first. I thought the trade was just egregious at first without looking at a bit more facts. But yeah, this was just a bad deal, and a lot of Americans, a lot of soldiers and Marines are very upset about this, and rightfully so. It kind of feels like you kind of shitting on your own soldiers and you're not protecting your own soldiers. It just looks very bad on us. It does. But yeah, I think Brittney Griner could have served her 9 years. And one more fact that I want to bring up too about Brittney Griner, because I want to try to get everything out there, is that her sentence, people are saying that her sentence was just, which I believe too. I don't believe her sentence wasn't just, because for the charge that she got off of the weed charge, usually people in Russia are in there for about 9 months for the same charge that she has, but they bumped hers up to 9 years, which is pretty ridiculous. And they did that with other Americans. I forgot his name. He was released earlier also. He had served, I believe, 4 years in Russia. And yeah, I like, they definitely kind of fucked her over in the courts there. But yeah, that's the one thing I can say, that it definitely wasn't a very fair trial. You can obviously see Russia pulled this is a political agenda to keep her there, and obviously have the trade between Viktor Bout. But yeah, like I said, even with all these facts, I still think that they should have either we get them 2 out or no deal at all. And yeah, you had the U.S. Marine there who was already there for 4 months. She was already there. She was only there for not. I mean, for 4. Paul Whelan was only there for 4 years. For 4 years, he was already there, and Brittney Griner was only there for 9 months. I think if we're going to go fair with something, we should get the guy out first that was there for longer and has a longer sentence time and has served our country. But knowing that we couldn't get him out at all, I think no deal should have went down at all. But maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I forgot something or whatever. I'm open to the possibility that I could be missing something or be wrong about this, but I don't think so. Tell me down in the comments what you thought about this whole situation. Do you think it was a fair deal? Do you think that this was, I'm missing something in this? I thought this was a terrible deal, and this Viktor Bout person is definitely not something they should have traded up for just Brittney Griner. But see you guys in the next video. BQ quick review. You know how we do.
The pieces and patches I gotta be, cause the edges are jagged. I do not call my piece lessons with real beef, they be squeezing them ratchets. You not the same person that you on internet, I've been smelling some catfish. Don't condone violence cause we move in silence, you know that they got it like Metal Gear Solid. Pick up the pieces and patches I gotta be, cause the edges are jagged. I do not call my piece lessons with real beef, they be squeezing them ratchets. You not the same person that you on internet, I've been smelling some catfish. Don't condone violence cause we move in silence, you know that they got it like Metal Gear Solid.